Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Kathy Millette. Today we have on the show Pat Bickles, transition specialist, and today we're going to be talking about something very important that a lot of us miss, interviewing skills. Now the resume is very important, but the interview can make it or break it.
Yeah, the interview is huge.
It's huge.
So many of our workshop participants fail to see the importance of the interview.
You nail your resume, you think you got it down, then you go in there
and you blow it.
You blow it.
You blow the opportunity because you didn't bother to take the interview, ace the interviewing workshop, and therefore you're not prepared. You don't know, you're dressed inappropriately. You don't know how to respond to the questions. So yeah, you've lost the opportunity.
You've
absolutely lost the opportunity.
You could have all the skills required, but somehow during the interview process you missed something and you didn't get hired.
Exactly.
So let's talk about how you should prepare for an interview. What are some things that people should look into?
First of all, you need to identify which interview you're going to be participating in. Is it a one-on-one, and that is by far the most popular, just you and the interviewer, or are you going to be participating in a panel interview where it's going to be you and maybe 3 to 5 other individuals on the panel? You could also have a telephone interview. A lot of organizations are now using the telephone interview due to budget cuts. Yeah. You know, we're all feeling the crunch. And that is sometimes used as a screening process as well. They will use that as the first interview, and then if you're not scheduled for an additional interview, you can kind of figure out that you've lost the opportunity there.
And if you've had a telephone interview and then they call you back and then they want a one-on-one, you probably did a good job.
Exactly. But there are actually 8 different types of interviews.
8?
And we discuss all of them in our workshop, and that's why we're really trying to encourage job seekers to participate in the ACE the Interview workshop.
Okay, and what if you're not really good with the interview? You really, you don't speak well, you can't prepare. What should you do? Should you practice in front of a mirror?
Absolutely. We recommend that, especially for the 30-second commercial, the intro, so to speak. We recommend that you write it out first, then you actually stand in front of the mirror so you can see what the interviewer is seeing, because you might have some bad habits or twitches that you're not really accustomed. You're not aware that you're doing as you're speaking, and by standing in front of the mirror you can actually see what the interviewer is going to see.
Maybe even record
it, play it back, and you can hear, am I using a lot of fillers? Are there a lot of ahs and ahs and likes? Because that can detract from the message you're trying to convey to the interviewer. And then when you feel comfortable, sit down in front of someone and say, okay, please play interviewer. But we offer mock interviews. You know, and yes, we absolutely do. You can call one of us at any of the camps except Futenma, or we can our Kinzer folks. Our Kinzer office supports Futenma, so you can come in and we'll sit down and we will actually do the research that's needed for whatever field you're planning to venture into, and we'll set up a mock interview and it will be like the real deal.
That's great, and you can give great feedback.
Absolutely, and we'll do it several times until you feel comfortable, until you feel that you're ready to put your best foot forward.
That's an awesome service.
It is.
If you have a friend do it, they may not catch certain things.
Exactly.
They may be too nice about it, but you guys will.
They don't want to hurt your feelings.
Right. You'll tell them the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll give you the down and dirty because we want you to be successful, and that's why we're here. We're here to assist you in getting that job, starting that career that you've always wanted to. And the interview is a very important part of it.
Now, what about dress? How should you dress? There's different companies and they all have different dress codes.
Yes.
How do you know how to dress?
Researching is the way that you're going to find out that information. Research the organization, do some research by going online. If you can, visit the organization. Sit outside, see how the people, what they wear to work on a given day. So that you're not, and you should try to dress one up at the interview. Now, you're not going to wear tux or anything like that, but you're also, for example, if you're going for a lifeguard interview, you're not going to show up in a Speedo.
Right.
Okay? So you want to know what to wear. You want to dress appropriately. That's your first impression. And you don't have a second opportunity to create a good first impression.
What are some absolute no-nos?
Absolute no-nos. No Speedos.
That should be a given.
Exactly.
You should know that already.
And I'm not going to talk too much about the no-nos because I do want everyone to come to the class. But definitely nothing revealing.
Be on the conservative side.
Exactly. Conservative, make sure it's flattering, whether the length of the dress or the skirt, nothing too tight. Men should watch the shirts and not wearing undershirts, undergarments. You can see through the shirts. Just things that are comfortable, but still will make you want to sit up straight and give you your best. Because if I'm wearing jeans and, I'm going to want to kick back and be casual, and how you dress really dictates how you present yourself and how you perform.
Okay. And what are some tips for interview questions? Some of those questions can be really tricky.
Yes, they can. And you don't want that deer in the headlights, like, oh my gosh. You do want to practice, and we actually give them a list of the 100 most popularly asked interviewing questions. There are several different types of questions. You have your general questions, your tell me a little bit about yourself questions. Then you have situational questions. You also have illegal questions. And you also should have questions for the interviewer. So we discuss.
Can you give us a couple of those? Okay, without giving away too much. What's a couple?
Of which type would you?
If you were that you might ask the company.
An interviewer. What's an average day like in this position? Okay. A standard is when do you think you'll be making the decision? Okay. But you can also ask some technical questions based on the research that you've done from the organization, and that demonstrates that you've actually done the research and you really want to be part of that team.
That's awesome. And some questions that you should absolutely never ask are, how much am I going to be getting paid?
Exactly. There is a time and place for that. You don't want to bring up salary necessarily until they actually bring it up.
Okay.
You don't want to assume that they're going to offer you the position. And are you a money maker or money taker?
Right.
And even though we all know why we work, we want to appear to be a money maker for the organization. Because basically they're paying you for your skills. Why should I hire you? Sell me.
Yeah.
Sell and market the product.
Sell your stuff.
Exactly.
And so tell us about some of the classes you offer.
We have so many wonderful classes. We have ACE the Interview, of course, and that's what we're talking about today. We have the federal application process.
It's
a very consuming process. Takes a lot of time, and people need to understand that it's a little different than the actual resume process. And the resume class that we offer, and we offer both now, one for corporate civilian resumes and one for the federal side. So we have 2 resume classes now. We encourage our participants that take the federal application workshop to take the federal workshop as well.
Okay.
Because we don't write in that class, only the federal resume class. We also have social networking, because that's a biggie. If you're not on LinkedIn, you're not LinkedIn. So you really want to understand what it means to professionally network yourself and your skills and connect with those in your
field.
In your field, yeah, absolutely. They're 3 hours long. They're given on every camp except for Tenma. We're also portable. We have specialists at Schwab, Hansen, Courtney, and Kinzer, and we have 2 advisors and our lead specialist at Foster, right across the street. So wherever we're portable. We can come to your unit, or you can actually come to our facility.
And not only can you go to one of these classes, you're available for one-on-ones.
Yes. And for example, I work at Schwab. I'm assigned at Schwab, and the Marines come in for one-on-ones on a regular basis. They'll call me, Pat, do you have time? I can't make the scheduled workshop. So yeah, we do. We schedule one-on-ones, and that you can really take time with the individual and assess their individual needs, more so than when you're in a group setting of 6 to 8 or 10, and sometimes even 20 people as down here at Foster.
And if they want to get a hold of you, how can they contact you?
They can call the Foster office at 645-3151 or 3154, and they can sign up for any of the workshops at any of the camps.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. For more information, be sure to check out our website at mccsokinawa.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more MCCS TV.